Yeah.
I feel that leads to like another conversation just about like parasocial relationships. I feel like that's something that needs to be talked about. Like that, I actually have a genuine concern about. And I feel like what made me have like a really genuine concern as of late is this past season of Love Island USA has been like probably they said the most popular season of the show ever. I'm not sure what the UK numbers, but as far as the US, like superseded. I think they said it was like 900 something million people viewers they've had this year, so almost a billion. That's a lot of people, right? Two people from the show all have like 2 million, 1 million followers. Like they had the highest amount of followers ever. So this season has just been like, it just, the popularity has been insane. And I think what that also produces is the weirdos who have parasocial relationships with these cast members on these shows. And there are people on the show, one notably Leah, who's been really, really popular, who they have like, her fan base is literally like psychologically insane, in my opinion. Like there's a lot of them who are like so parasocial who like defend her and like defend her to the point where they're sending people death threats, like who were on the show because they love this person so much that they're literally sending other people who she like might have had like a little issue with on the show death threats. Like behind their real profile picture. Some of these people are doing this behind their real profile. That's how you know they're literally clinically probably insane. And it gets to the point where even they're on her own comments saying stuff and she's even like stop, like you're literally like she's literally calling them out, like how are you that sick that even the person that you love so much doesn't even like what you're doing, but you're so sick that you still think like you're like the same thing with the Simone Biles thing, how they're making fun of her husband and Simone Biles herself is saying stop and you're still doing it in a way to protect her. I mean, she doesn't even like what you're doing. Like that's literally I think it's a sickness. And I'm actually really concerned
I would
for these
put
people. I think people who are studying psychology right now are probably putting together a study as we speak about parasocial relationships. It's literally psychologically like insane to me.
the death threats are amazing.
The death threats are literally
I would
psychotic.
I would put up Kamala Harris numbers, putting people in jail for sending death threats.
You're shady.
Yeah, put it behind the real profile picture.
Yeah, this one girl just did it, and I was like,
We going right to the
whoa.
local PD.
This one girl just did it, and it was literally like psychotic.
I don't even know what the jail sentence is for
Like, look, this girl,
a death threat.
no one, like a lot of people didn't like her on the show because she was like kind of caused a lot of drama. So she posted this. She said she can't wait to drop my mixtape and name a song op named Fabi because this girl was like never sing again, die.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's psycho, and this is her real page. That's her real picture, everything. Crazy, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
I don't know if they're American. If they're both in the U.S.
yeah, I can't tell.
Even if you don't specifically say you're going to kill somebody,
Mm-hmm.
like if you entice somebody even to kill themselves, then you could be held liable for murder in certain places in
That's
America.
why like these people are better than me. I would be reporting this stuff. I would be
I
trying to
would
figure out
love
who
it.
they are. I would definitely do lawsuits.
Kamala Harris, yeah.
And what I don't understand, like I know a lot of Love Island fans who came up this season are new fans, but if anybody were to do a quick Google search, there's actually 3 different people. There was a host and 2 members from the UK season that well, 3 of them have killed themselves because of the hate from the show. Like you know that to be a fact potentially, and you're still going to contribute to, like, it's just crazy. Like you can have your opinions on the people. 3 people from the franchise. So you would think this franchise would be doing something different, knowing that they have a history of 3 people killing themselves from the show, right? But not everybody might know that fact. Fine, but even still, you still think that's okay. Like you would like to have that, like for people to scrutinize your 48 hours on a TV show, like because it's edited. Not even 40 hours. She was on like 4 or 5 episodes. That's 5 hours that was edited to out of all these days, all these long days. It got condensed into a 5-hour episode. And you're gonna judge a person and think you know them and send them death deaths all because of a show that has orchestration. Like these people are so gullible. They think this stuff is 100% real. You don't think there's no manipulation in anything. You don't think that people on the show are also doing the most a little bit because they want to get fame. Like at the end of the day, you think these people are really here for love? Don't people dumb? Don't they realize like Peacock, Love Island, these people are producers of a show that like at the end of the day, everybody's doing what they're doing for money. You think anybody's doing shit for free? You think that Peacock and the Love Island people are like, let's just make a show for love? No, these people are trying to feed their families and they need to make money from the show. Like, are you stupid? Like, it's just like.
But this is why also, and I know it's not necessarily anybody that's normal's fault for the way for the way that other people behave.
Yeah.
But this is why when there's certain things even attached to certain things, I don't like it, right? This is why I've always gotten on you about reality TV. Number one, Keeping Up with the Kardashians is the number one reality show ever.
Fake.
No, we know that, but hold on, let me get to it. I don't even want to be watching or consuming anything with any of that level of issues behind the scenes that exist in real life, right? Like that Kardashian curse shit that they talk about, like, yeah, that's like a real thing. It's not like by happenstance that everybody that has run into them has had some sort of detriment happen in their life, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's Reggie Bush, Chris Humphries,
Kanye,
Lamar
Travis,
Odom.
even with this, even though I mean that was not the Kardashians' fault. What happened to the show, right? But it just seems like
and
it's just
everybody
the trend.
and everybody has free will, but there's a lot of things associated with that. And yeah, what she did to Kanye was crazy.
Yeah. Like that.
But aside from that, even with this show, right? Like, there's nothing positive or constructive about this show at all.
At all.
And you can separate entertainment from real life, but to me, the things that entertain you speak to how you are in real life, in my opinion.
But see, with me, like I find it like I find like what I like about the show is I give my applause like to the producers because they do put on a good show. But I'm able to separate the two. I'm able to realize that these people are sitting probably behind the scenes snickering like, oh, we got them. Like I'm as talented enough to realize that this is not really like, yeah, maybe there are real feelings that end up developing because you are putting a whole bunch of single, conventionally attracted people in the same place for months on end, right? Or weeks on end without communication. Like I think real relationships actually come from these shows, right? But I don't think anybody's actually going into that show with like, yeah, I'm about to find love. I think they really know, like, okay, like they see the popularity of the show and they're trying. Who wouldn't want to be on TV and gets a little clout and not have to work a regular job, you know? I think that's what they all go into, and yeah, then they end up actually like falling in love with people or like really end up like developing relationships. But I feel like a lot of people who watch these shows and are fans of these shows can't differentiate the two. They believe everything they see on TV, and they're just very gullible people, and it's scary in my opinion. Like it's scary for people to be that slow. Like you think these producers really just like were thinking about the audience and like let's just make a show for people to see that you could find love on a TV show. Like no, they're making money at the end of the day. You think anybody would do this stuff if it was free? Like come on. I think that's a question everybody gotta ask themselves. Would this exist if there was no money behind it? Who would do it if this like would this show exist if there was if money couldn't be made off of it? No, it wouldn't exist. So I think when you have that fact that this is all at the end of the day, this is a production with its producer, there's a whole team. Like when you hear the people on the show talk about how like they'll make you retake shots, like they've said one of the challenges they made them film it like multiple times, but then people are still gonna sit there and be like, oh my god, you see how she was crying? And then the girl was like, I was crying because they made me film this shit 4 or 5 times. That's why I was crying. I was annoyed. Like this one girl from the season, the girl Daya, they said that she was using Cordell because this is his brother. They said, look, she was already crying because she felt guilty. She was already crying because the tweet was read 6 times already, and she was annoyed because that wasn't true. But you said people are picking apart her actions on the show when it was filmed 6 times because it's not reality. Like you think it's reality, it's not. There's definitely orchestration that goes on there. They're literally on a show with a huge network backing. And if you can't use your brain to understand that, then you're the target audience. You're the target audience. Like these people make money off of they're banking off the stupidity of the average person. And the gullibility of single women. A lot of people who watch these shows are single women who want love of all ages. I've seen 40, 50-year-olds going to bat in the comments mad about stuff that's happening on the show, and they're 50 and alone and single. Like that's maybe that's why.
I think that anybody that watches reality TV, honestly.
Me too. Gotta watch it.
Yeah.
But I don't watch as much as I used to.
I don't even know the words to put behind it that are politically correct. This is my like trying to be politically correct.
But don't you think there's differentiation between watching it and thinking it's reality and watching it and just enjoying the show that these people are putting together? I view reality TV, quote unquote, as just any other like how we just watch like Snowfall, like and we know that's a fiction. I view reality TV as fiction. I view it as these people are putting together a great show, masking it as reality, but it's still a good show. Like I'm not viewing it as reality.
Right, but
we know personally who was on Love Island, and we, by the way, like somebody, our wedding event stylist who we booked is literally mutual friends with the person that we knew from Love Island, and she like remember we was at the tour, right? We were just at the tour like a month ago. Me and her was literally laughing because we know the guy personally from the show, and she was like, yeah, that shit was fake. Like the one person he was dating on the show, his ex-girlfriend from home was literally his friend, like, and we were all laughing about it. Like so knowing somebody personally who was on the show. And like now having an event stylist who has also stories and we were able to put the pieces together, we know it's not real. But a lot of people don't know it's not real. Like they don't. And that's scary. But that's why you don't think I'm different then? Just because I know it's fake?
No, sometimes I got to walk myself back because I know I'm a unique case. I just think that, I think when I consume entertainment content, it doesn't like, I don't then take that entertainment and then apply it to real life, and I don't talk about it. Like, I was watching Snowfall that whole time and never posted anything about Snowfall. I'm not in Twitter. I'm not in Reddit threads. I think consuming these things is one thing, or like if I watch a good movie, I'm not going to, and I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that, but there could be things wrong with it depending on the type of person you are. But if I watch a good movie, I'm not going to go then post about how good the movie was, or like, I like kind of keep things in the spaces in which they are.
I get that.
And I think that people that don't do that more likely than not are these psycho people.
But I think some people who do are just looking for community. Like you know, like when you like people bond over a similarity. So if you bond over the fact that you guys like the same show, the same movie, I don't think nothing's wrong with that. I think you're just bonding with other people who are also enjoying the same thing, so you guys could talk about it. Like I think that's just human nature is community. Like that's not even like a man-made construct. That's just, we're communal beings. So I think bonding over shared experiences and shared love for things is different than people who actually are sending death threats, and people who think this is real and they're so emotionally tied and, oh, I cried and, oh, I felt triggered. Like, yeah, and that's a different conversation. You might be triggered by something that's on reality TV too, but like I'm just being like the people who are so like deeply embedded in it, that's a different conversation. I don't think there's nothing wrong with having community over a shared love for a show or a movie or a song. You know what I mean? I don't think nothing's wrong with that. I think it just gets weird when you're like parasocial about it. And you're like, oh, this person's so ugly and disgusting and I hate them. I'm like, you hate somebody you never met over a show that had some type of planned villain arc in it. Okay. Now you might got to go to a psychologist and get checked out. You know what I mean? That's those people who scare me. I don't think there's nothing wrong with just like talking about it online or whatever. Just like, oh, like this show, like this is a great cast. Like the production did their, you know, they did their big one. Like, you know, they give them their ones with this season because they definitely had a great production and a great cast. That's different than being like, oh, I hate this girl. She ruined everything and she did it so dirty on the show and I hate her. She thinks she's all that and she's posting videos about it. And I'm gonna go send her death threats and tell her to die. Like those are the people that scare me. You know what I mean? There's definitely two different categories. You know?
Thank you for repeating what I already said.
No, but you're saying that being in Reddit threads and all that stuff is weird. But I don't think that's weird. I think it's weird when you're like thinking the stuff is real life.
Is that the word I used?
What's the word you use?
I don't use any word to describe it. I said more likely than not when there's people that are participating in Reddit threads,
oh, okay, more
social
likely
media,
than, okay,
talking
I didn't
about
hear more
these
likely
things.
Than not part. Okay, I agree.
Then there's a higher likelihood that they will end up doing those kinds of things. Is what I said.
Okay, I agree. Yeah.
Yes.
And they do. It's not even a Love Island show. They do this with anybody. They do this with celebrities.
Right, and that's why we're gonna expand it. Right, Twitch streamers.
Beyonce, yeah, Twitch streamers.
Anybody that is on TV. Anybody that gets likes, views, comments, any of that kind of stuff.
Can we just like kind of decipher though? What do you think is a disconnect there, realizing that these are also everyday people just like me and you? Like, what do you think is a disconnect there?
Because you don't see them in real life.
Yeah.
So you can never attribute this as being an actual person because you don't see them in real life. That's why people don't believe it when they see a celebrity walk by them, because your only consumption of seeing this person has been through social media.
Yeah, or TV. That's true.
So you, in a way, they could not be real. That's also like one of these Black Mirror kind of things. Like
it's almost like reading a book.
Yeah, like you're definitely never going to end up seeing. It's like when people
more
see
likely
people,
than not. Yeah, like unless you live in major cities like New York, LA,
you're never gonna see these people.
Yeah.
So because of that, when people come across, like, that person might as well have been fake. It might as well have just been AI to those people's perspectives, because it's like.
But that'd be the funny part though, because then maybe they jump into reality a little bit, but when the person themselves is like responding to their comment, like I said, this one person was going tooth and nail defending her, and she was like, "We're just friends. Like, you're doing the most. Stop." Like, and then she was like, "Oh, sorry, queen." Like it's so embarrassing because you probably got to look snap of reality for a second. Like, she's calling you out, and now all of a sudden, "I'm sorry, queen. I'm sorry." Like, Are you not embarrassed? She literally probably thinks you're a freaking weirdo. Like, she probably wouldn't even associate you with in real life, and you're going, and you have a profile picture of her picture on your page. You made a whole fan page for her. Like,
this is why I think that it's because I was thinking about this in terms of sports too earlier today, randomly enough. Like, of course, the Jordan LeBron thing, and I was like, because there was one guy in there calling LeBron a bum because he was carrying a flag or something. and it got like a 1,500 likes in the comments or something like that. And I know people are trolling too.
Yeah, but come on.
But I was thinking
Say that to his
about
face.
sports in general, and part of me was like thinking that I wonder how many of like the men that enjoy sports are like homosexual.
Ooh, that's a really good statistic.
Because I think that or like they have homoerotic tendencies. Because I'm an avid sports watcher, right? Like I keep looking over this way because I'm watching them do cycling right now, and I love competition and I love people competing for anything. Realistically, like I love a good debate. I love athletics. I love anything where there's competition. Chess. I love watching everything. I like watching animals fight each other. But I think, to what extent does it become a little homoerotic when you're constantly talking about another man?
Yeah, and calling him names to defend another. Like you're calling somebody a bum to defend another man. Like that's your man.
It's weird. Yeah, that's your man for real. That's your man crush Monday. But it's that parasocial
seen it with
part.
Music. Kendrick Drake. We've seen it a lot, but it's Kendrick Drake stuff.
Yeah, like pop it out your mouth. Like on both sides.
Drake don't know you.
Drake don't know you and Kendrick don't know you.
And he probably will look down on you if he saw you in person. He probably would think like, ew.
Not Like Us is tremendous. And I enjoy that song a lot. And I played it a lot. But what you won't see is me going and
like fighting everybody online.
And Drake's a bum. Blah, 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 blah. He got no classics. Like, you're not gonna hear me do these things because it's just weird. Like,
it is weird.
I don't know these individuals, and of course we can be judgmental and enjoy the art because art is subjective and it's meant to be commented on. But it's when people go too far, and now it's like it's become this big thing, right? Like he's not a bum because he was in the Olympics.
Yeah, like stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And to me, it's embarrassing because I know me as a grown ass man. I can never imagine myself being in the comments saying certain things because it just seems embarrassing to me.
Yeah.
Like, I think that a man's greatest test in life is the women or woman that he ends up with. And to me, I think the best gauge is that if a woman that you want to pursue read this comment, what would she think about you?
That's true.
And more often than not, the way that a woman would think about you leaving the specific comment, she wouldn't want you because you're just weird.
But you know what? That's why I think a lot of people, especially men who leave those comments, are single.
No,
like,
for sure.
For sure. Because they spend so much of the time online. Like, how do you even have the time to be so tapped in? Like, are you not dating? Like are you not in a relationship? Do you not have other things that take away your time from being like so chronically online?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about being online. Like one of my favorite comments is whenever there's like a woman that's attractive or even extremely attractive, and then somebody, and I know there's trolls, so we have to like think about that aspect too, but sometimes they're not because you can tell by how detailed the comment is, where they say, and that, you know, people's appearances, it's all subjective too, but there is the idea of being conventionally attractive. Yeah. That is a thing. It's not like it's not a thing.
You can't ignore that. Like there's definitely people who everybody will agree as attractive, like, or more so than not agree.
Yeah. So it's always funny when somebody in the comments like says something negative about it. Like, cause then I'm like, okay, show me a picture of every woman that you've ever been with, and then let's make the comparison. Cause you might be like the fucking GOAT. If this woman to you is mid, you might be the fucking GOAT.
You might have been all 10.
Historic. You might be putting up top 10 numbers all time. And of course they would never do it. And their idea of what...
And it'd be funny too, because people be saying something about other women, but like, look at your mom. Like, no offense. Like, look at your mom.
Yeah, just show me like...
Look at the women in your life.
Show me...
Your mom, your cousin, your aunt. Why they all look crazy?
Show me the people that you've been with. Like... And they're never gonna be able to produce anything like, I don't know, man. It's social media is very interesting.
Social media is really a cesspool.
I just don't get why people can't temper it. Like, I don't know. Like, I of course recognize when people have done amazing things.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I would necessarily say I look up to anybody except like my parents, but I can recognize when people do great things, and I feel like you can do that without feeling like you are, that you know somebody, right? Like, we don't know Kobe, we don't know LeBron, we don't know any of these top level people, we don't know Beyonce, you don't know her personally. you only know what they decide to show you, right? I've never seen Beyonce in person. She might not even be real.
She might not.
She might not be.
I saw her in person. So
Yeah.
I saw her in concert.
I didn't know Kanye was real till we went to concert and saw him.
It was weird seeing him, right? Like somebody that you like loved listening to for so long, like, and then seeing them there, like that's crazy.
But even then, it's like I don't feel like I know that gentleman at all. Like I don't know what goes on their daily lives. Like I really don't know, and I don't care to know.
Yeah, me too.
I don't care to know.
I love their music. I love who they are. I feel like they are misunderstood, but at the end of the day, I don't know him, and that's all.
Yeah, and that's.
I think all humans are misunderstood, so I just have empathy for every human. You know.
Yeah, if until I sit down and have a conversation with you, I can't really even necessarily pass judgment on certain things. Like I don't know you, right? Because I don't like when people do that to me.
Yeah, same.
Because people pass judgment on me.
I've been telling that to my mom. Like my mom, we talking to me, and she like kind of like makes assumptions about people. I kind of get so defensive about it because I'm like, I don't like. I've been a victim to people making assumptions about me, so I don't like seeing it in real time. Her making assumptions like, oh, she's ignoring me because she must just think she's better. And I'm like, no, like people be having like literally mentally like that's what I was trying to explain to her today. Like I ignore calls and text messages sometimes because I'm literally like on the verge of like a fucking like mental breakdown. Like I need that space to myself. It's not personal. So I don't like when people make assumptions because you don't know what that person's going through mentally. Where like they maybe they're ignoring you because they're going through something. Like I don't ever take it personally. Like, oh, they're ignoring me. Like they look at them and that message is like F you. Like I don't think people really, a lot of people operate like that. Yeah. I think people have so many stuff going on in their head in their own personal lives. I don't ever take stuff personal. So I hate I'm the same way. Like, I hate when people do that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna name this person by name because I don't want to throw the shit out there. But I was talking to for people I talk to, tell me everything about everything. I want to know who I'm dealing with and who I'm talking to because why not, right? Like, yeah. Know what things we can talk about, what we can't talk about, your experiences. I want to learn from everybody. I was talking to one person, didn't even know that they were here illegally, and they might be watching this too because they've been asking when we're gonna do another episode. And why would I know that, right? Like, why would I even assume that? Yeah. Like, it's not anything that I would necessarily know, but that's the type of shit that is a part of somebody and like is a characteristic and it's a part of their story. And I don't know what that's like, and I'll never know what that's like, and who knows what their story is and all the stress and things that they had to deal with. Where at any point somebody could pick you up and ship you back, and like that, you're walking on eggshells until you can secure your legal status in the country. That's crazy, but that's not. It's not like I knew that until the conversation was had. So if somebody's upset about something or they look like they're having a bad day, well, fuck, it might be that. They might be...
Yeah, like that's the thing. We don't know what people are going through. Like people could have the craziest traumas in the world. You would never know. Yeah. Someone could be a survivor of the craziest thing. And you might think, you might take things personal how they're acting. Oh, they must think they're better than me. Meanwhile, they're literally having a freaking like PTSD episode from like some trauma that they might have dealt with as a kid, you know? Or like maybe they got raped or something. You know what I mean? Like you never know what people are going through. Yeah. So I always try to have empathy for people all the time. I lead with empathy and I lead with trust until someone proves otherwise. Right. That's literally how I lead in life.
And I think the other thing too, and the easiest way, like I feel like I think they literally call it the golden rule: treat people how you want to be treated. Yeah. That's the number one thing, right? Like, would you want someone else going on social media and saying this about you, or would you want somebody else to treat you this way? And I feel like ever since I really started, of course we've always been taught that, but I feel like ever since I started really truly living by that, I feel like number one, my life has never been better, and number two, you get a better understanding of the people that are around you, and you become better socially because you aren't being a dickhead.
Isn't that the irony though? That's why I feel like that's like something that should be said. Like a lot of the time the people who are online so negative, they have their lives reflect their actions. Right. The type of person that you are you shocked that your life is like miserable? Like I feel like I'm the same way. Like I lead with that too, and like look how our life is. Like everything is so like put together.
Not only that, like I've talked to some of the highest net worth individuals in the world, in the country, but definitely in the country, but in the world too. If they were to be ranked, not necessarily billionaires, but definitely multi-millionaires, and you could see the way that I've spoken to them or they've spoken to me, that you could tell that their mentality and mindset on certain things is significantly more positive than it is negative. I know there's a lot of, like, Wall Street gets a lot of a bad rep, and it, granted, for a lot of things they really should be, but in general, those people are normally just cool. Like you could sit down and have a conversation with them. Like I was speaking to I'm not going to say the rank because I don't want people to necessarily put pieces together, but a chief executive in the C-suite, and just like the coolest person ever. Like we were talking about how they went to the London Olympics because they lived in London at the time, and just having these conversations. These people are just cool, positive people, very family oriented. Like they're very positive. Like you don't really even hear a lot of negative things when they're talking. Or like one multimillionaire out in California, he was a trader, and he sat on the phone with me for hours just talking about like life and things that I should do because he's kind of like on the tail end of his career. Like he's kind of just doing it for fun, like making money for fun. But just how you should live life and how you can really truly make money. And he's just doing that just off the strength. Like, there's no negativity in the conversation. And I feel like the people that I speak with the most that are the most positive have the best lives.
Reflected. Same. Honestly, same. Literally.
And I was having a conversation with some other people about somebody that we all know in common that is like a horrible person and everybody hates them. And her misery reflects like her attitude towards other people. Like we know she's miserable, and the way that she treats other people is miserable. And of course, she doesn't have a significant other, divorce. I'm not surprised because
isn't that so crazy though? Like anybody, like the most miserable
it's always
people
consistent.
I think of who are so negative, always have negative stuff like that they talk about and happen. Their lives reflected. Like nothing is really like about positive about their life, and that's no coincidence.
Yeah.
At all.
That's why I just be chilling, and you know
and that's why I gotta have that mindset. Like sometimes I'm like interacting with these people online. I'm like, these people are miserable. Like of course they're mad. Of course they're throwing hate at a girl who's on a reality TV show who's literally conventionally attractive enough to get on the show. Like you're a loser at home. She was on a show. People are like, oh, why is she still talking about the show? Why are you talking about the show? At least she was on it. She experienced it, and you're mad about her talking about her experience on a show that you're not on, and you talk about it more than she does. Like you guys are just mad because she looks good. She's relevant enough and cool enough to get you on the show, and you're not. You're a loser who was at home sitting in the freaking dark arguing with strangers. Like, and they know that. That's the funny part. They know that, and that's why they're mad. That's why they're talking shit. Cause they're mad. They're insecure. They could never sit on a reality TV show for 6 weeks straight in a bikini. You don't even like how you look. You built bad. You could never. But you gonna hate on the girl who looks good. Cause you don't like how she acted towards another girl on the show that you don't know. Like these girls are literally mentally ill and deranged. Like I can't wait for the psychologists to come out with their, what do they call them? I be learning. Oh, your thing just fell off too. I learned about it in the
Wait, what for?
Your thing on the mic.
Oh.
I learned about it on the cause I watch a lot of crime stuff, but it's specific like psychology like stuff that they come out with. What are they called?
Reports?
Yeah, like reports. It's called like I learned about it like when I watch all these shows. Like it's like the
studies.
Yeah, it's like the D something, right? D ma'am or something. I don't know. It's like I can't wait for the report for parasocial relationships to come out because I could read these people to feel because they're literally insane. Like it all comes down to how you feel about yourself. Like if you could do this to people online and send death threats, it all reflects on how you feel about yourself.
Yeah, how would other people feel about receiving a death threat? That's the thing that I'm confused about.
Yeah, how would you feel if people
overanalyzed
everything you do in the world? And you can't even post a real picture of yourself. You can't even take the heat of posting of having like your real picture out there. You think you could take the heat of being on a reality TV show and having everything over psychoanalyzed and having a whole bunch of deranged weirdos in your comments telling you to die? Freaking weirdo! Like they're literally mentally ill. Like I think there's like, and social media is causing I think a spike. Like it's actually really scary to me. Like really,
I think it's because people don't. I think there's definitely an age thing too. I think the younger the audience, the least they know about the implications. Like they haven't lived life yet. Mm-hmm. And I think that they haven't experienced the negatives that are associated with that mentality on things.
Yeah.
So they don't really even necessarily know yet.
That's
but
true.
There are other people that of course do know that are our age that will be leaving comments because they're still single and
they're just miserable,
pushing 30.
Yeah.
Which is fine too. Like everybody's life is different.
But don't project that into the world.
Yeah. I think it is interesting. I think the point you brought up is very true. Because we've seen it. I don't know why women are so negative towards other women.
I actually saw a tweet the other day that said that women that hate men are actually more hateful towards women than men are to women.
Yeah,
women love to hide behind this girls thing. I'm telling you, as a woman myself, women hate each other more than they hate men.
They do.
The things I've dealt with from other women who done like hateful stuff, like evil, traumatic things, I feel like I've dealt with from other women than I've had from a man.
Yeah.
Like women are not good people. They don't like each other. They treat each other crazy. Like That's the thing. If you think about what it boils down to, they're sending this woman, Andrea, death threats because of a situation of her coming into the house and taking the other guy, Rob, away from Leah. So you're sending a woman death threats over the common factor of a man. So you hated, like, the situation that happened with a man rubbed you the wrong way so bad that you're sending death threats to another woman because of the action of the man. Because I say that man owed Leah loyalty.
On a fake TV show.
Quote unquote loyalty from a girl he knew for 3 days, right? He owed her loyalty. You're sending another woman death threats because she came in as a bombshell, did exactly what she was supposed to do as a bombshell. You can't take a man that doesn't want to be taken from another woman. But now you're sending her death threats because you feel like she ruined a relationship between two other people when the man was the one that had the power of choosing her. He liked her better on a show. That's the whole point of the freaking show.
Run this by me because I don't.
They're psychotic.